Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? Welcome to Junior and the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. Man, it just feels so good coming on live after a victory, doesn't it? I mean, come on. What's up, Big Dog?
I am so happy. See all the people here in the chat. Orange and Green Blood, Cohen, this is for you. Get better soon, buddy. Our co-host, Cohen, is actually under the weather. So everybody in the chat, please, all of you, wish him a speedy recovery. Help him feel better. And Cohen, we love you, buddy. You get better soon, okay?
Get better, buddy.
You make sure you take all your medicine. You listen to what mommy and daddy say, and you'll feel better real soon. All you guys, thank you so much for joining us. Big victory yesterday. We're starting to pile them on now, 3 in a row. And what I like is, I mean, obviously the defense didn't play great yesterday. Gave up some big plays, but we are playing. It seems to be better and better as the season progresses, which is what you want to see. You want to go ahead and give a shout out to all the a lot of people in here already. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and leave us some comments. And also look us up on Facebook. Junior did a good job with that Facebook page because he is the brains behind the outfit. I'm just the looks, the beauty. So he's the brains. But please join us on Facebook also, and a bunch, a lot of some new guys and a lot of our old Junior Live crew already. I can start saying that. Martin Dubé, thank you for joining us all the way from Botswana, and all the other guys. Go ahead, dude. You can actually do that much better than I can. Going down on them.
What's up? Dreadlock, we got Terrence, we got Kyle, Hialeah, Bread, number 1 Kane. Did I say Thomas? I don't think I said Thomas. Thomas, Byron, 247. All the OGs in here early, man. Chuck Mobeer, what's up, man? Guzman, Chris, Ben, Lakers, Terrence. Oh, who else we got? We had Royale in here earlier. Yeah, man. Before we get started, Big Dog, I saw this on Twitter yesterday. What's up, the closer? We got some Canes over here. Yes, we do.
Yes, we
P.
do.
Hill in here. Yellow, what's up, Yellow? Birmingham Kane. He says, I'd like to wish all the Marines a happy 244th birthday. Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. All our service people on this Veterans Day weekend, all our service people, thank you so much for your service. It's the
shoes.
It's because of your wonderful service that we're able to live in this wonderful country and be free. And so that's something we should appreciate every day.
Yeah.
But especially on a Veterans weekend. So thank you, all of you that are veterans. Thank you so much for your service, and that comes from the heart. So
absolutely, David, Terrell. We got Terrell in here. We got McLovin, the Canes. Before we get started, man,
we got a UL fan that's hurt. That's hurt because of the calls us thugs and a complete disgrace.
Hey, but thanks for tuning in, man. We appreciate we appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hey, man, before we get started,
I have a feeling that might not happen.
Yeah, you never know, man. Sometimes people just come in, and start talking this stuff.
You can win them over.
Thank you, Guzman. Trash program. Oh, you mad? Oh, you big mad. You big
trash
mad.
Program. Wow. Well, that's a
trash program. Trash Louisville. Just saying. But look, hey, before we get started, Big Dog, I saw this yesterday on Twitter. A shout out, man. Condolences to Jeff Thomas's cousin. Supposedly he was killed during the game. I wasn't able to verify exactly what happened to him, but I did see that from various.
Kidding me?
No, from various sources, man. I saw that Jeff Thomas.
You're not talking about. I mean, not at the stadium though. You're talking about just.
No.
Okay.
No, not at the stadium.
You're
but
gotcha.
And I don't know whether he was like. If anybody in the chat knows exactly what happened to his cousin, man, let us know. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I did see on Twitter from various sources that his cousin died yesterday, actually during the game. So I just wanted to start that off with this, man. Condolences to JT and his family, man, and hopefully God gives him the strength to go through this, man, to overcome this, man, because it's tough. It's tough, man. So I did see that, man. If anybody knows any details or whatnot, exactly what happened, man, but But yeah, and I just felt kind of bad because I saw a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I saw some people talk about his Jeff Thomas's performance.
Oh,
And
come on, man. Are you serious? See, that's there you
no,
go.
yeah, I know,
That's
but
why I'm not on Twitter. That's
yeah,
why I'm not on Twitter.
I know, I got you, but I'm not saying like
No,
when the
man.
news broke that people were commenting that. I'm just saying people
Oh, okay.
commenting about the game before they even knew anything happened, or
Okay.
I'm not saying that they,
Okay.
but I started seeing that, and then I started seeing the whole cousin thing. So
Oh.
that really sucks, man. That really sucks. And
a lot of times people forget when they think about these players, they're human beings first and foremost, and they have stuff going on in their life just like we all have.
yeah,
And they have the same. Just because you're successful in one aspect of your life doesn't mean that everything comes, is flowers and berries and paradise and milk and honey down the street.
right.
They go through the same things that we go through. They lose family members that they're close to. They have, negative things happen to them. So man, our prayers go out to JT4 and his family. And man, I hope that they can find some solace and in their faith. So that's a shame.
Yeah. So I felt like I saw that, and I felt like I had to say something, man.
Yeah. I just hope people on Twitter were nice to him afterwards.
Yeah. Eric Kane. Yeah, man. We're on early. Doing it on Sundays. So yeah, we're on early, 11 in the morning, man, to try to get this out of the way before NFL Sunday starts. So yeah. But highly bread. The Rock was live last night. Yeah, man. And look, it was important because for a lot of reasons, man. You wanted to see that, the final against final drive against Pitt, beating FSU the way we did up in Tallahassee. You wanted to see that upward trajectory. You want to see that, have these guys really turn the corner. Because listen, the season has been like this, so you wanted to see like, okay, this is for real. And you want to see the offense, continue to show signs of what we were promised basically when everybody came in, Dan Enos and company. So it was promising to see that. And then even Manny alluded to it, in the press conference. He was like, listen, it's nice that they felt that they were going to be able to exploit a Louisville defense, was frankly is not very good. But I think it was more about the offense clicking on all cylinders, especially the offensive line, continuing to just get better week after week. And it was just one sack, and frankly, I put that one sack on Jaren. I felt like he held the ball too long on that long sack.
And it was also a rollout.
Yeah, I know
that play's actually designed to hold the ball a little bit longer. That's why you roll it out.
But I feel like he could have gotten rid of it. So
and he was probably outside. He was outside the tackle box, so he could have just thrown it away from right there.
Right, exactly. So I'm not even putting that stack on the offensive line.
Oof. They are night and day better than they were even a month ago.
Yeah.
Even I'll go even for a month and a half ago. I thought that our entire season was going to be that with the offensive line. Yeah. And they are much better. Much better. Did a better job run blocking yesterday.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but part of that is John Campbell playing left guard as opposed to Donaldson.
Yeah.
And man, you talk about a young man has all the talent in the world, and he seems. He seems to be heavier to me in the last couple of months than he has been, because he actually had lost a little bit of weight when they tried the conversion of tackle last year, and he seems to have put that weight on and some more. Right. I think he's still listed around 360 or something like that, and he looks like he's maybe 380, and not a real good. And I think it's affecting his play.
Yeah, but not just Campbell, man, but Ja'Kai Clark has really shown me a few things.
Oh my God! As a true freshman that reported in summer, are you kidding me? Playing as well as he's playing, a true freshman who, oh, by the way, who's actually a center. Okay, who's now playing guard. He reports in the summer and is playing as well as he is playing. That's something else. That's something. Now, mind you, that one hit on the Wiggins touchdown, on the long Wiggins touchdown, the 67-yarder.
Right.
That one hit that Jaron got in the mouth as he stepped into it was Ja'Guy Clark's man. but listen, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. You're playing. The other guys are on scholarship too.
Yeah. What's up, Shonda? We got Shonda in here. Loso, Peanut, Clavon, Mo McNeil.
Put Martin Dubé's comment there. I think that's fair. Martin. I think you're right. I think when Navon is in there, he is playing better. Maybe he was his endurance isn't where it needs to be. So maybe playing too many snaps was causing him to play less than what he has. So that's fair. Maybe that's what he needed was to get sub 4 more often.
Yeah, make a list. Jesus, are there any bottomless mimosas offers during this live early live chat? LOL, just rolling out of bed right now. Hurricane Harding, what's up, man? Good morning, Manuel, Mr. Wright. Yeah, Mr. Wright, I said that as soon as it happened, man, because I got worried because it's crazy when I watch games. Because me and the big dog and Rico, we have a chat and whatnot, or me and the big dog are calling each other back and forth. So. But I have Hulu, so I have to watch it on Hulu, and Hulu is a little bit delayed, like 30 seconds delayed. So I remember against FSU, the first the deep pass to Jeff Thomas, like my phone started ringing 30 to 45 seconds with Big Dog calling me, and I'm just like, oh man, either something really, really bad happened or something really good happened. And I had a feeling for some reason it was something really, really good. So sure enough, I see it. So ever since that happened, I have to put my phone like on silent. But I saw that touchdown pass to D Wiggins, and he got hit nasty on that shoulder, man. And then you started seeing some, even the second touchdown pass to D Wiggins was a little bit behind him. He almost had that pick. He there was his arm wasn't looking the same after that hit, but then finally whatever, and he started stretching it a lot. So I was like, maybe Nicole. I expected, frankly, Nicole to come out in the second half.
Sooner.
Because
we
already had a big leader and whatnot. Yeah. You don't want to put, perhaps an injured, re-injured shoulder, and the possibility of him getting hurt even further. But sure enough, he came out in the second half, man, and
he seemed to have the zip back on the balls again.
He in the second half, right?
Yeah,
What's up, Saeed? He had the zip on the ball, man. But obviously we're gonna get into Jaron and whatnot. But I think one of the biggest differences, besides Jaron just having so much more confidence, man. I feel like he was. I said this early on in the year about maybe the coaches putting too much in his head about not burning the house down and not taking chances and whatnot. And then frankly, with the way the offensive line was playing early on, it was hard to get time. So, you broke the record, 6 touchdowns, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into his stats. We're going to go into his QBR and all that. But I just feel like, man, when things are really going bad with this offensive line, there is nobody holding back on how bad the offensive line is and trashing everybody, throwing everybody under the bus. But then when things are going good, man, you guys got to give credit where credit is due. Yeah. And I think this offensive line is really.
We've been critical of the offensive line.
Yeah, but I think, but I think it's very important to give the offensive line its due. It's credit, man. You got Jaron back there, and he's throwing these except for that D Wiggins pass. But that was a good blitz pickup by DJ
on the other side, right?
On the other side,
right? On the outside guy,
right? But they're giving him a clean pocket. And then what I'm also enjoying from Jaron is, I don't know if him seeing Nkosi, maybe make some more plays with his legs and whatnot, opened his eyes like, man, I could do that too. And he even to his credit,
he talked about that. He needed to run more even before.
No,
before the Virginia Tech game.
But we didn't see it.
Right.
We didn't see it like this, and we saw it a lot yesterday. Frankly,
yeah.
He got a little bit too crazy with the running game on that last drive that we were trying to root for like a 7th touchdown. But regardless, man, he made plays with his legs, especially when they dropped 8. And he picked up that big first down. Like he just looked back there.
He picked up a couple of big first downs.
But so he saw that they dropped 8, and instead of just standing back there and trying to hope somebody to break free, he's like, "Oh, you guys dropped 8. All right, I'm gonna take this rock and I'm gonna run with it." And you see that he can run, and he does have speed. He was clocked at over 20 miles an hour in the fall camp. in the fall camp. So, that's very promising to see, man, that when he sees there's nothing there, he's starting to use his legs a lot better, and his pocket presence is a lot better. And I think that, goes hand in hand with him trusting the offensive line more.
Right.
And
this is the Jaren that I saw in all his high school tape, especially his junior and senior year in high school. This is the Jaren, and I think we started seeing that Jaren against Pitt, and when he came in against Pitt, and I think you're right. I think the combination of the "don't burn the house down" comments constantly by Enos and Manny, and the struggles of the offensive line, I think it changed the way he normally plays. And I think, and then probably the shoulder injury to an extent also affected it somewhat. And now that when he's come back, he just said, you know what, I'm gonna let it rip, and I'm gonna be me. And okay, that's fine. I won't be careless, I won't be reckless, but I will be fearless, and I'm gonna play my game. And that's exactly what he did.
Right.
And it's a sight to see, and I think we have something really, really special.
Absolutely.
And by the way, I do want to say this before we continue, guys. This is a Sunday morning, and there's a lot of stuff to do on a Sunday morning, and I'm just touched always that you guys choose to spend some of your Sunday morning with us like that, and we don't take it for granted. And you guys are a blessing to us, and thank you so much for being up with us. We really enjoy these, and it's a great thing to see. So
over 100 people, over 100 people already, man. 15 minutes in, man. Look at you guys waking up early.
Wow,
fairly early. I'm taking advantage. I can't, for some reason, I don't know if my clock is trying to get prepared for what's coming with the kids, but I cannot sleep, even though I don't have anything to do. I saw
you on Twitter like 3 a.m. yesterday, but I wasn't sure.
Nah, not that late.
Okay, somebody was responding to your post, to your tweet.
But it's like, man, no matter how much I try, no matter how much I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sleep until at least like 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. I'm up like at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and my eyes are already like this. And that's just trying to prepare me for what's coming, man. But Justin Flo, we got Lakers all day. He wants to know about Justin Flo. Any news on Justin Flo? He got to the game late though. He got to the
game late, but then we saw. Was that on Twitter? That picture that you texted me?
Yeah, that was on. He was in the locker room.
He was celebrating, and he had a smile ear to ear on.
Mike Harley, right?
Just really, really. Junior and the Big Dog, what you all had for breakfast? CJ Miami Kane, you got to remember we're Cuban, so I had some café con leche. Even here in Ohio, I have my café con leche every morning.
Yeah.
But it seemed to have gone really, really well. They went to dinner, I believe, last night with the family, and Manny, and Justin Flo is still on campus. He'll be on campus all day. And then I believe that he leaves tomorrow. So, man, I'll tell you what, it looks good. It looks really, really good. I think at the very, very least, we gave Justin Flo and his family, because remember, we also have Jonathan Flo, his brother, who's an outside linebacker, who's a 2021 young man who's also a stud. But it definitely seems that we gave Justin and his family a lot to think about. And I think it went about as well as it could possibly go. And I think if he sees, even though our defense didn't play as well yesterday and got gashed in some spots, I think Justin saw that what he could be in this defense, the way it attacks, and it went as well as it could possibly have gone. So.
And Rohan,
I'm really, really excited.
Rohan is, a lot of people are saying that. I saw it on Twitter quite a bit about Rohan Marley. He's trying to be like a recruit, trying to bring Justin Flo in, man. And it's really cool because you saw.
I want DJ Williams to get on his recruitment too, being that he's from Cali and had such great success at Miami.
I don't doubt it.
DJ too.
But I think it was cool, like with current players, even, and even guys that we already have locked in for the 2020 class. When he put up that thing on Twitter saying that, official visit and whatnot, you had DJ, You have Brevin. You had so many people retweeting and commenting. Like, that's showing love. That's showing Justin that he's welcome here. That the guys that are here, that they want him, frankly. And even DJ was like, "Hey, man, if you want a chance to come in and play right away and be a part of something special, there's no other choice. Like, this is it. So, and it's cool because DJ's always been, like he's always helped in the recruiting department, bringing guys in and whatnot. And then you see, it's just cool because the guys that you see committed for next year, guys like Restrepo, he's trying to get Jalen Knighton to come through. You see it from Canes that it's like it's a family thing. Like, come in and be a part of this family,
brotherhood.
And I think what better timing can you have than to have an offensive performance the way you did yesterday, last game for the seniors, homecoming, bad weather, whatever it is, what it is. We're always gonna have games like that down here in South Florida, man. But it's so promising that this victory is not coming off of the heels of an FSU loss, or it's not coming off the heels of a 2-game skid. Like, you could tell that this team is starting to turn the corner, frankly. Really, and I was scared, man, because I was like, okay, cool, man. We beat Pitt. We went into Tallahassee, played a heck of a game. I was scared of them being a little flat. Like, sometimes because you're coming off an emotional victory against the Seminoles, and then they exhale, and then you see them maybe come out a little flat, man. But hey, that first drive of the game, boom, 7, and you're like, okay. this is what we wanted, and you have the emotions of senior day. You have the emotions of the last game at the Hard Rock. So I was like, man, a lot of things are, I mean, it's nice and it's positive, especially for our seniors, but a lot of things are pointing at, maybe this team not getting off to a fast start and maybe finding yourself in a deficit early, the way Louisville runs the ball, man. And, especially the weather. The weather is, if it benefits anybody, that kind of weather benefits a running football team. So I was just kind of like, man, I really want to see us jump on them early. And frankly, we've been wanting to see this team jump on teams early the whole year. Like, for some reason, we've always said it. The Canes come out flat sometimes, and they wait until they're down, or they wait until the second half, and they, games that shouldn't be close all of a sudden become close. And then that's when you start seeing, maybe a turnover, and then you hold your breath, like, man, just help me out here, jump on the team early. And we saw that yesterday, man. So we're seeing the trajectory like this moving forward, and I think this weird bye week, another one, it's going to help a lot of players that are dinged up, get healthy, and come back and finish the season strong against FIU first, and then, closing it off with Duke, man. And then we'll see what happens in, whatever bowl game we decide to get, man. But that's pretty cool. That's another thing about a bowl game, getting that 6th win, under your belt. And, it's going to be big for these seniors to go out, at least going out with a bowl game, not going 5-7 and missing a bowl. So I think that's very promising to see,
I want to go over some really good comments here that I want to address. Dijon McDonald asked me what part of Ohio is he lives in Columbus. Dijon, I'm actually in a town outside of Dayton. It's called Bellbrook, is where I live. I actually have an uncle who lives near you. He lives in that suburb of Columbus. I always mispronounce it, but I believe it's Gahanna. But yeah, I live in a town called Bellbrook. Dante said that one of the things that he wants to see is more variety in the run game from Dan Enos. I agree, Dante. I would like to see a little bit more variety in the type of running plays that he calls. Big Kane was talking about Chaney recruiting for Miami, and that he's all about that. You're 100% right, Big Kane.
You saw the one that they were interviewing him after the speech he had at Bellin.
No.
Yeah, I guess he was like, they asked him about, has, your commitment, there's been rumors, have you wavered at all? Maybe you're looking at other schools and whatnot. People want to know if you're 100% committed. He was like, yeah. He just said like yeah, and then he looks at the guy. He's like, oh, you're recording? Oh, it's all about the you, baby. so I thought that was cool, good, man. Like, I know that some people have been worried, especially when our season wasn't looking very good, that Don Chaney might decommit. I said all along, man, I never expected or saw that coming. I thought that Don Chaney ever since the beginning was all about this U, man. So that was pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah. That he's a solid dude, and that whole family is a solid family.
Yeah.
And so that was good. Uncle Joe had mentioned that Sapp and Gino were both at the game also. I love the way Manny embraces the alumni, and he's talked about it. And one of my favorite things that he has said is that the program belongs to that great alumni.
Yep.
And because that's the one that put those are the ones that put my University of Miami on the map and dominated Saturdays and Sundays like no other. And it's great seeing guys like Sapp and Gino there. Gino and Sapp both, they always rep the U. Chug Mobeer talked about the great game that Harley had. Yeah, awesome game. And I was so happy to see him getting into the end zone and making some big time plays. Clavon.
Will Mallory sighting.
Yeah, Will Mallory sighting. Clavon was talking about JT4's playing time. Clavon, I actually think he got a lot of playing time, but he was getting a lot of attention from Louisville. They were doubling him quite often. I think his snap count was probably pretty close to what it normally is. But he was there was other guys that were actually more open or open that he kept going to. Mo McNeil, I'm sorry, I actually stopped writing. Mo had a real good comment too that I wanted to go over. Let me see if I can find it.
He said I love Brevin, but Eno's called a better game without him. Facts or not?
Yeah, that's a comment.
Okay.
I'll say this, Mo. I think it has more to do with we finally saw yesterday what happens with the multiple spread coast when Enos trusts the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was a big difference in Enos's play calling. We finally saw what happens when he trusts the offensive line, when the offensive line actually performs the way it can, that this offense could be deadly. And I really think it was more a product of that than having to be more creative because of Brevin not being there.
Yeah.
So,
and guys, listen, I mean, just because like Jeff Thomas is a threat and the defense knows he's a threat, man. So just because, so you see it all the time from big time wide receivers, man. Sometimes, the way the game is flowing, it goes to the other guys, man. We have, D Wiggins coming into his own, man. And D Wiggins has been a very bright spot for this team and get you so excited about the future.
People forget this because he's 6'3". But out of all the University of Miami players, the one who was clocked as being the fastest at over 23 miles an hour, which, by the way, is ridiculous. You're talking about,
especially for his size.
At 6'3", and he was clocked at over. Now, mind you, at 6'3", he doesn't have the quick acceleration that a JT4, or a Mark Pope has, who are smaller guys. But when he gets up to top speed, there isn't a faster hurricane. And to give you a perspective of what over 23 miles an hour is, remember, over 23 miles an hour in cleats on grass, okay? Yeah. Usain Bolt at his fastest, at his very fastest, was the fastest human being ever clocked was Usain Bolt, and it was 27 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you an idea how fast 23 miles an hour is.
You could run 27 miles an hour. That's insane.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's why you're looking at one of the greatest athletes in the history of athletes in Usain Bolt.
Yeah, hey, Big Kane. That's what I was trying to say about JT, about him as a
he helps, absolutely. He helps as a decoy.
That's a great
absolutely.
Point.
And listen, he demands attention. Yeah, he demands attention from every defense because I guarantee you, defensive coordinators know how explosive JT4 can be. Mm-hmm. So they I'm sure when they game plan, that's a big part of that game plan.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you want to start up getting into some of the breakdown, Big Dog, like things that you enjoyed seeing the most, and then things that you were concerned about or whatnot.
Well, concerned about it. It's a pretty quick conversation. The defense.
Yeah,
I was concerned about getting gashed. Some of those big plays, that big run that they had right up the middle. Our safeties were playing really wide, too wide, and gave up that middle run. We saw the same thing against Georgia Tech at crunch time and overtime. That's something that needs to be corrected. I saw some breakdowns, some really bad angles in tackling on the Atwell, on the 2-2 Atwell long touchdown. Gervin took a real bad angle.
He also got a heck of a block. Though.
Yeah, he also got laid out on the block. Knowles had struggled a little bit yesterday. A little bit of regression there from Robert Knowles. He struggled a little bit, although he did have a lot of tackles. I think he was our second leading tackler. Shaq and other putting really good games back to back. Shaq led in tackles for loss. I think he had, I want to say 3.5 tackles for loss. Let me double check that.
Yeah, 352. That was because
Shaq had four tackles for loss.
Nice.
Pinkney had 3. So our senior linebackers in their last home game really led the way. Knowles did have 7 tackles, 6 of them solo. Amari actually took a couple of bad angles too. So that was a little troubling. That was my only concern. Al Blades and DJ Ivy both came up with big time interceptions, and those guys keep battling. And I'm really, really happy with DJ, because I was really upset with DJ Ivy with the Georgia Tech game, and to see him redeem himself. And
my favorite play was that tackle on Atwell.
Oh yeah,
that he got him in the backfield. That was textbook tackle, man. And it's beautiful. You got a guy that fast and that quick and that much open space, because it was Atwell and DJ Ivy alone on an island, man. And DJ Ivy was like, nah, I'm not falling. And Atwell was like trying to see what he could do, but DJ stepped up and made that big tackle, forcing him to a 4th down, man. So that was huge. That was my favorite play. I know he had that interception. It was basically thrown right to him, but still, sometimes you gotta be in the right place at the right time, right? That's part of the game sometimes. Yeah. So it is what it is. But that tackle to me was my favorite play from DJ yesterday.
Yeah. It's it's and offensively, oh my God, so much to go around. Offensive line played so much better, man. So proud of those guys, the way they keep fighting, and it's, man, and I've been fairly critical of the offensive line, of the fact that we stuck with these guys when they were really, really struggling. But now we're seeing the flip side of that we're seeing it paying off with them playing so much better. Jaron was ridiculously good. I want to go over, guys. Because I do remember a few weeks ago when I did my quarterback breakdown, somebody accused me of capping. I believe it was capping. And I'm going to get a hat that says no cap zone.
There you go.
No, I do want to go over I want to go ahead.
100. I was talking about that Gervin block. I said it when it happened. That it looked like what they call now, or what they're calling now with these blind side blocks. It was very close to being.
Yeah, remember though, a key component of those blind side blocks is the player has to be facing his own goal line. So a receiver blocking sideways is not, as long as the receiver isn't coming from facing his goal line, you can make that block if you're face on, if you're head on. So a key component of that block is the player has to be facing their own goal line. Because what they're trying to avoid is the peel back blocks.
Peel backs, right?
Right. So technically they don't call that a peel back because he was sort of sideways.
It was close.
But it was close. It could have been called.
Yeah.
But 247 Kane's asking about how Patchen returning. Yeah. I don't know if he's on board with it, but there's a possibility that he could get an additional year because of a medical red shirt, because of all the injuries that he had earlier in his career. And it's so I mean, I love the way our running backs ran awful hard. Nice to see Cam Harris, even though he ended up getting banged up a little bit at the end of the run. Really nice to see Cam finally break one that wasn't
called back.
That wasn't called back because of a damn penalty.
Yeah.
So that was really, really good to see. Let's see. Oh, seeing our wide receivers, seeing D Wiggins developing, guys. D Wiggins, when you're 6'3" and you can run like he runs, I'll tell you what, that young man's a sophomore. So his best football is ahead of him. And that was awesome to see. Seeing Mike Harley go off and get into the end zone a couple of times, that was big.
You know what I really liked about yesterday, Big Dog, and I pointed it out a couple of times to you and to or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Whatever. Point is, regardless of the margin, the lead that we had in the game, man. Manny was in the defense's face because Manny was not happy with our defense. And even when the game was already pretty much decided, man, Manny was still, you saw it with I think it was Gilbert Frierson, he was screaming at Gilbert Frierson allowing a first down catch, or, he was still so in tune
because of the penalties.
I'm not sure if that was patching or he was screaming at the referees.
Because, no, he was screaming at the referee first.
Right.
But then when Patchen came to the sideline, he got in his face too.
Which is bull, because I don't think that was on Patchen at all. I don't think that was roughing the passer.
No,
let's be honest.
But the other one, the one that he pushed the guy in the back.
No, but that was after. He didn't get it in Patchen's face. Correct, that was like a frustration thing from Patchen. But
correct.
I saw him scream at the referee, and I saw him get,
but
scream at Patchen. But I was kind of like,
even though he let up, you know why he threw the flag?
Well, contact close to the.
No, what did Patchen do as soon as he got to the quarterback? Yeah, he let up with his hands, but what did he do? He ducked his head. We watched the play. That's why that penalty was called. And he got lucky. No, dude, watch it. He does let up, but right when he gets to the quarterback, he dipped his head.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's lucky because that could have also been targeting.
Yeah.
Dude, what do they tell you? What are you? Now he didn't do it forcibly.
That's what I'm saying.
Correct.
And then the flag that they threw on Rousseau, man.
What are they trying to get out of the game?
I know what they're trying to do, man. But it was a bad call, Big Dog.
It was
terrible call.
It was a ticky-tack call. I think it was a makeup call because of the Nesta play, where Nesta bombed their quarterback.
I'm surprised he didn't get flagged for that one.
Yeah, I think that was a makeup call, frankly. Yeah. But it is what it is. It was a bad call, Key Millie. There's no doubt it was a bad call. But still, if he doesn't do that, he would have gotten the call. But it was a bad call. I agree with you. There wasn't anywhere near enough contact to call roughing the passer.
Yeah, but whatever. My point is that I enjoy seeing that, man, because Manny, regardless of how we're winning or how good we're doing offensively, Manny is holding the defense accountable to that standard that he always talks about, man. Like, it doesn't matter, we're playing at home. We know what they're gonna do to a certain extent. We know what they run the ball the majority of the time. So, he was just getting frustrated with the defense, and I felt he wanted to make sure that the defense wasn't gonna let up just because of the lead that we had.
And in all fairness, remember, Wake Forest has a really good defense. Yeah. Okay, and this is the same offense that lit up Wake Forest.
Yeah. For sure.
That scored how many did Louisville score against Wake Forest? It was in the 50s. I think it was 59 or
I don't know, but
it was almost a 60 burger. They lit up Wake Forest.
And I don't know
Wake Forest lit them up too, though. But
I don't know. We didn't get any help for the division. We didn't get any help, man. Wake Forest lost. Georgia Tech wasn't able to beat Virginia. We didn't get any help in that sense, but it is what it is, guys. That's why I wasn't getting my hopes up. I didn't expect
things to break right.
Yeah, but now things were gonna look a lot better if Wake Forest would have beat Virginia, and Wake Forest, frankly, should have beat Virginia. I mean, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech, right?
They should have beat them, but now that Virginia Tech beat Wake Forest, man, I don't see. Virginia Tech, I don't even know how many of the remaining games are ACC opponents, because they need to lose 2, basically.
Well, no, not necessarily. They can lose 1 as long as we end up in a 4-way tie with Virginia and Pittsburgh.
Yep. Yeah, but the way it breaks, I mean, if let's just say everybody is tied, the way it would break, I read that North Carolina is the one that gets the
The
tiebreaker.
biggest advantage.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tiebreaker. So
Yeah,
yeah,
which by the way,
I
I
don't
think
see
is
it.
BS because North Carolina lost to Wake and it doesn't count as an ACC game.
Oh, Hialeah Bread, it's not over yet, but the
It's
fat
not
lady,
over yet. We
the
still got a
fat
shot.
lady is starting to stretch out
She's warming up.
her vocal cords.
Yeah,
you
she's
know?
warming up.
Yeah,
She's warming
so
up.
it is what it is, man. But I'm
Martin, that's a good point. The speed of Louisville skill players. Yeah, Louisville recruits a lot down here in Florida. Down here, I keep saying like if I live, I'm still living in Florida. Down there in South Florida, and they can score. They can score. And Scott Satterfield has done a great job, really with their offense. And listen, they count. They count also. And so. But you want to do the statistical breakdown, and then I'll go into the details that I wanted to go into with Jaron.
Stow it, dog.
Go ahead and do the statistics.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start off with Louisville. Malik Cunningham. He was banged up, man, but he went 12 for 18, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 INC, which was the one to DJ Ivy. Then, in pretty much garbage time, Evan Conley came in 6 for 11, 109 yards, and an interception, which was the one to Al Blades. Javian Hawkins, he had 15 carries for 91 yards.
I just had to interrupt you because 502 UL fan also
not today
called the thugs again. I looked up. 502. I wasn't sure of what the definition of thugs is, but I looked it up just now on my phone. And thugs are any team that scores over 50 points in a football game. On your team, that's the definition of thugs. Oh, hey, hold on, UL. Jaron just threw another
touchdown.
Jaron just
look
threw
at that.
Touchdown. But go ahead.
All right, man. Yeah, Hawkins
wait. Jaron just threw another touchdown against Louisville. They just scored again. Go ahead.
He's big man. I kind of feel bad for him. Oh, no, wait. I'm over it. All right. So Hassan Hall, man, he has 6 carries for 79 yards. Receiving, had that big run. He had 6 receptions for 142 yards and that big touchdown. Besides that, man, a lot of guys had basically chunk plays. Javian Hawkins had 1 catch for 40 yards. Seth Dawkins, 1 catch for 36. Keon Wakefield, 3 receptions for 40 yards. So there was a lot of chunk plays, especially on that one that Al Blades, got beat on and whatnot, which was crazy to me. I kind of felt like at times the scheme defensively, I understand that they're trying to get after the quarterback and trying to try to get them behind the line of scrimmage and whatnot, especially since they run the ball on a lot of misdirection and whatnot. But I felt like a lot of times we could just help contain, man. Not necessarily blitz and get beat, over the top. So some of the play calling at times I was kind of like, yo, but why? So I kind of felt that there were times where we had them pinned back and we had them, in 2nd and long or 3rd and long. In that case, man, you got to either force their quarterback to make a throw, which he's not known that much for. I mean, they're a running football team, so make them make a throw. Make them put the ball in a dangerous situation, man. But I just felt like sometimes they were just trying to get after the quarterback and the running back, trying to stuff them back there on these blitzes, and I felt like they should have maybe, you could send one guy, but you're sending 2-3 guys on a 2nd or 3rd and long, man, and that led to that, that one-on-one coverage with Al Blades getting beat over the top. But I mean, it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, what frustrated me about the defense was that we kind of knew what they were gonna do. We knew that they were gonna run the football. We knew that they were gonna try to get.
Yeah, to an extent, though. Key Millie, I was just writing down his comment. Put it up there. He talks about getting beat on crossing routes in motion. To an extent, you're right, but Louisville. You got to, the other guys are on scholarship too, and you do have to take your hats off to them because they do a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy, a lot of misdirection. Hey, this guy's going this way, and then we cross the Atwell underneath, and then you have a misdirection where one running back's going one way and the QB and the other running back go the other. So Louisville gives you a lot of eye candy, and when you have a young team, eye candy like that works because you get guys on their heels. And Key Millie, that was a good point, and I agree with you. But go ahead.
Tutu Atwell embarrassed you all. Hey, you want to look up the score? Hey, look up. Oh, he's just trolling. He's just trolling.
Tutu Atwell.
I'm not a fan. Hey, you know what's good about this channel? I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood. I haven't had to block anybody on our channel, so that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna block you, 502 man.
Like I just if you want to go in there and if you want to troll respectfully, that's one thing.
I'm whatever with it.
Yeah. But when you start calling young men thugs, that has a different connotation. So I'd hold that trolling.
It's all good, man. Whatever.
But go ahead.
It is what it is. So let's go ahead and get to to the Canes, man. Jaron Williams. Let me say it again. Jaron Williams, man. 15 for 22, 250 yards and 6 touchdowns, man. Setting the record for Miami in terms of touchdowns in a single game. Wow. That's all I gotta say, man. I think the running game, we've been talking about it. I actually said it on our last live chat, man. If we get our running game going, what that can do to this passing game, especially when it comes to the RPOs, man, it'll take this offense to a whole nother level. And we saw that yesterday, man. We were able to run the football. DJ Dallas, 15 carries, 96 yards. Cameron Harris, 8 carries for 78 yards. So we've been talking about that. Like, our running game has not been very good. Our run blocking has been subpar at times, but we said it, man. When this running game gets going, that's just going to open up so many opportunities for this offense as a whole. And this is an offense that was without, Brevin Jordan. Imagine if Brevin Jordan was out there, so just running the football, guys, the play action is going to work a lot better. RPO game, man. When your running game is going, and those linebackers, see you on the RPO, maybe giving it to the running back, that forces them to what? Respect the run, put more numbers on the run, which in turn opens up the passing game on the RPO. So it's very promising to see, man. I understand Louisville's defense is not, like a Virginia or like a Pittsburgh or like a Florida. I understand that. But with that being said, man, we still tied the ACC record, for touchdowns in a single game. For the Canes, the most points we ever scored against an ACC opponent, man. So it's not just a fact of, Louisville not having the best defense in the world. Is a fact of the Canes just what's the word I'm looking for? Executing. The Canes executing the game plan and getting the running game going, man. That's something we've been waiting to see, frankly. And I think that's going to be something positive moving forward. And the credit goes to the offensive line once again, man. Run blocking has been getting better. I love Ja'Kai Clark, man. Ja'Kai Clark is his motor that I've seen in recent weeks, man, especially, when it comes to the screen passes. Oh my goodness. He's running full throttle out there trying to make a block, man. So that's very promising to see. Our screen game has been on point, and it's been called in the perfect situations, which is credit to Dan Enos. So, but let me go ahead and you want me to finish the stats for the Canes?
Yeah. So a couple of things I want to point out. D. Burnett was talking about Tutu Atwell. We have, as Miami fans, we have to realize that there's so much talent in Florida. Even more to the point in South Florida. You're going to have situations like that where you see guys on other teams. You can't recruit them all. And if you look at our wide receiver room, could you pick out one guy you would say, I'd rather have Tutu than that guy? Maybe. But look at size related, Tutu's really small. And if you look at our wide receiver room, we really don't have a lot of small guys. I think probably Harley's probably our smallest guy. and hardly lit them up. So that's the thing is you can't recruit them all. And while Tutu does have a lot of ability, he's a small guy, but there's so many guys at the skill positions in South Florida. You're always going to have that. You're always going to have a guy who stars other places. But at the same time, I wouldn't give up any of our receivers for him, type of thing. So, you know, that's the thing is you can't always look at a guy and go, oh, man, I wish we would have recruited him, because look at the ones that we did recruit. And at that time, they were better recruits. Dante mentioned the fire in Manny. That's 100% Dante. I think one of the things that Manny is learning is that he has to be himself as a head coach and be the same guy basically he was as a D coordinator. Obviously, you apply that now to the whole team. And Manny, at one point, it looked like he was trying to be a CEO, trying to act like he thought a head coach is supposed to act. And now he's not doing that. Now he's just letting himself go and being Manny. And that's the fire that got him the job in the first place. He has to be who he is. So I wanted to point that out. And then Sammy was mentioning that Nesta is imposing his will. Absolutely. And that's really, really big. And then Nicholas brought up a point, which is true. And the reason why I'm mentioning this, Nicholas, is because our recruits need to be aware of this. Our recruits need to be aware of this, especially in South Florida, that even though UL, whatever his name is, the dude from Louisville is trolling, we've seen this before, that our young men go up to places like Georgia or Louisville or here and there, and they're instantly, you know, they call our team thugs. That's the same thing they say about their own guys when nobody's watching. Okay? So
that's a good point, Big Dog.
Oh, absolutely. Our young recruits in South Florida, I hope you guys are watching that, because I don't know if you guys saw what happened with Tyreek Stevenson when he got in trouble up in Georgia. What's the first thing that we saw from Georgia fans? Oh, that's another thug from South Florida. That's something that our recruits need to see, that in the Miami program, they're embraced, but yet they go to a lot of these places that they're repping and they are barely tolerated. You saw O.J. Howard talked about some of the stuff that he put up with in Alabama of basically racist overtones, of being called thugs because of them being different than what they're supposed to be. That's our recruits in South Florida need to see that and need to realize that in Miami, they are going to be, Tabardine says it, thug is just another word from you for you know what. Okay, they need to realize that, our recruits, that where Miami, they're embraced, over there, they're barely tolerated as long as they score in touchdowns. And behind their back, even when they're scoring touchdowns, you have people like that talking about them behind their back. So that needs to be said, but go ahead.
That's a great point, Big Dog. Good job on that, man. Great point. I'm just going to finish it up, man. So, yeah, we're talking about Harley. He had 6 receptions for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wiggins, 3 receptions for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mallory, man, we got a Mallory sighting. You know, that was a heck of a play drawn up, man, wide open in the end zone for 17 yards and a touchdown. DJ Dallas on that screen pass, you know, that went for 14 yards and a touchdown. And yeah, besides that, man, Pickney had eight tackles and he had 1 sack. And the only other sack in the game came by the hands of Mr. Jonathan Garvin, you know, which is promising to see. I know a lot of people were talking about, oh, Rousseau is gonna be the leader, you know, with Chase Young now being suspended, and I forgot the other dude's name that Rousseau was tied with 12 sacks. I forgot his name, but whatever. That's besides the point. The fact that Louisville is more of a running team than a passing team, I felt that was going to hinder Rousseau's chances at getting more sacks, and you know we saw that, but we started seeing a lot more double teams as well on that Garvin sack. You know, we saw the running back help out with the right tackle, I believe, because I think on that one Rousseau was lined up at the end, and we saw the running back basically like shadow the right tackle and kind of like to help out with Rousseau, and that's when
he got flat out double teamed at times, even the end by 2 offensive linemen.
That's my point. That's my
Like
point.
two
So,
offensive linemen, Rousseau was getting blocked.
but what's that
And by
gonna
the way,
do?
they still held him because he still got away from him.
Yeah, but what is that gonna do, man? So it's gonna open up, more chances and more opportunities for guys like Garvin, guys like Trayvon and whatnot. So that was good to see, but it was gonna be hard to get sacks. On this team, being how much they run the football and whatnot. But yeah, guys, just rounding, just go ahead and just finish this off, man. Knowles had 7 tackles. Shaq had 6. Mari had
4 for
4.
loss. Shaq had 4 tackles for loss.
Right.
And Pickney had 3.5,
hey,
right?
Shaq and Pickney, played a heck
3.
of a game, man. Played a heck of a game.
4 by Shaq and 3 by Pickney.
Yeah.
And tackles for loss.
Yeah.
They played great.
Yeah,
in their last home game.
They really did, man. They really did. And yeah, I know I saw people I'm confused with this Patchen thing because, and no disrespect to Patchen, man. I think it was nice for him to, he was playing with I don't know, like at times early on, he was just playing with a different motor. Like, okay, I'm getting this opportunity and I'm gonna take full advantage of this opportunity. Right. But yeah, I guess he is gonna get that medical red shirt because I didn't see him like in the senior picture they took of the.
Yeah, apparently he is. And
yeah,
good for him, man.
And Manny when
he gives us depth, and I know he's
100%.
When you compare him to Rousseau, it's like, man, why are you on the field?
But listen, Big Dog, forget about the play on the field. Forget about the play on the field for a second. You have a guy,
that's a leader.
That's a leader in that defensive line room. That's is gonna help. Not only help develop and help mentor, the younger guys that we have on the team. So it goes beyond just on what's on the football field, and so it's a good thing that Patch is that he might indeed come back for a 6th year and whatnot, because I like Patchen, man. I think he's a leader, man. I think he's an overachiever, I think, I'm saying that in a positive tone. I'm not trying to knock on Patchen, man, but he's a guy that is going to work hard. I mean, we saw how much weight he's lost, his body transformed, so he's going to be a leader in the weight room. He's going to be a leader for the young guys that we're going to have coming in, man. So I think that's nothing but promising.
That's a positive. That's a positive. Having him being here another year is a positive, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Listen, he's not going to be on the field a ton of time, even though he's been on the field too much longer than he should have been at times. But it's going to be a positive having on the field. 247 has asked me a couple times the highest pick in this draft. 247, I think it's going to be Trayvon Hill. Trayvon Hill is going to be our highest pick. I think Trayvon's probably a first round pick, probably towards the end of the round.
You got Trayvon as a first rounder?
Yeah, I got Trayvon as a late first. Yeah, at the very most second. He won't last past the second. I think he's going to last at the first because I think he's one of these guys that's going to tear up the combine or pro day. So that's who I think is going to be the highest. And Key Millie brought up a good point as far as breaking down the special teams. Guys, great performance again. I mean, we're starting to take it for granted, but we blocked a punt, at least partially blocked a punt. KJ had a real good punt return. We had the fumble on the punt that, and I believe that was Tutu that fumbled, wasn't it?
That was indeed Mr. Tutu on that fumble.
So he fumbled. So our special teams played great. Lewis Headley has been one of the best punters in the country. And that's always, Brian, that's a really good, Brian, that's one hell of a good analogy.
Oh, wow. All right.
Put up his comment there.
I like that.
That's a perfect analogy. That Patchen is our Udonis Haslam. That is, drop the mic. Brian, just drop the mic because that was a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Nah, Big Kane, I think Bubba's done until next year.
Yeah, Big Kane. I think Bubba, I mean, they don't talk about it in college like they do in the pros, but I think Bubba's having surgery on that ankle.
Yeah.
Because it was a pretty bad, ugly break. So
Stunner Boy Kane says he has Pickney and Quarterman either going in the 3rd or 4th round.
I think Pickney's probably a 3rd. I'd probably push Shaq back a little bit, Stunner, maybe to a 5th or a 6th, because I don't think he's going to test well. I don't think they're going to like his 40 time specifically. But we'll see. We'll see. But Pickney, I think that 3rd round, I think he probably hit the nail right on the head. And maybe 5th or 6th for Shaq.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay Way with a donation. Thank you so much, Jay. Do you all think Bolden will get the red shirt since he already had one at USC? Probably not, Jay. The NCAA doesn't usually do us any favors. I don't know why they feel that confident that they're going to get that extra year for Patchen. Maybe the fact that they take into account, Jay, the situation that happened. For you guys that don't know, what happened with Bolden at USC. Bolden, as a true freshman, played, I believe, in 13 games his first year at USC. Then there was I believe it was an on-campus fight that occurred at a party, which Bolden was singled out as taking part in this fight. Bolden got very angry because he felt that the football team and the athletic department weren't in his corner as much as they should have been. And it turns out that he wasn't at fault the way that had been first reported.
But at that point, the damage was already done.
The damage was done, and they had suspended him. Yeah. And I think Bubba got really upset with that, and rightly so, frankly, from what I can read. Yeah. And that's why he said, you know what, I'm not coming back.
Right.
And so what he did was he started going to a junior college, and that's how Bubba ended up with us. But he already had basically a red shirt year. So in my opinion, the fact that they drugged their feet in getting him approved so he could play with us, and the NCAA made him miss a bunch of games. I think that maybe that will work to our favor, and that Bubba will get a red shirt. But at the end of the day, Bubba is an NFL talent, so I doubt he stays for his entire eligibility anyways. So it might be a moot point. But
that's exactly what Mr. Wright just said. He said Bolden doesn't need to redshirt. Our best players usually don't stay till their senior year anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I think it'll end up being a moot point.
What's up, Frank?
What's up, guys? I did want to go over this, and I know, guys, I am joking for whoever it was, because I know it was part of our Canes family, and you all were just kidding with me about the whole that I was capping. So yeah, I learned, back.
You're getting good, man. You're getting good, man. That's what I gotta say, man.
I knew all the slang back in my day because I was raised in Miami.
Yeah,
so I used to know it, but capping, that's a new one. Capping was that's a new school one. But I know you guys, when you did say, when I was doing my quarterback breakdown, that they said I was capping. I know you guys were just kidding. But I do want to do a breakdown of the 6 touchdowns specifically, because each one showed a microcosm of why I was so high on Jaren from the beginning. And I wanted to do a breakdown of those.
Hey, before you get into that, big dog, just one little comment before you go ahead and get into that. Rick Bad Boy, can't wait to see Phillips next year. I'll tell you what,
baby.
I'll tell you what, man. You know what I thought was cool? Seeing Phillips so hype, on the sideline. I think I seen him like really, really enjoying and really happy for the team, and you could tell that he's becoming a part of the family. I think some people were concerned about Jalen, because of his interest in music, and that being one of the main reasons why he came to Miami. It could very well be one of the reasons, but I wouldn't say that the main reason he came to Miami was because of music. That's just something that he likes doing, man. You know what? We have a good music program, so he saw that as an extra perk, man. But that's one guy, guys, that in 2017, man, he was the number 1 recruit in the country. Not just at his position, but overall. So I think a lot of people are not I don't know, not paying too much attention to that, man. But to your point, Rick Bad Boy, I think Jalen Phillips, man, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big seeing him.
People forget how talented that dude is.
Yeah,
that dude can be every bit as awesome as Greg Rousseau.
Yeah, Mike Williams. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have, assuming I don't think Garvin leaves. I think Garvin might come back. If he does, I think I might be surprised if Garvin leaves, man. But regardless, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have.
I think what happened with Joe Jackson and that he was drafted much
That's
later
my
than
point.
expected,
That's my
I
point.
think is going to work in our favor. And also, McIntosh and Kendrick Norton, which all was in our prayers. Kendrick, hope everything is going well. I mean, you look really amazingly positive for that horrible thing that happened for you. And but I think those
Absolutely.
things, the law office of Phillips and Rousseau, heck yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a law office, Dante, that a lot of QBs might want to stay clear of. But yeah, that's going to be an amazing thing. I did want to mention a couple of guys like Mr. Wright said that that Big Dog used to play the dozens. I absolutely did. You know what's funny? Even though I'm an old man now, you know when you could tell that I grew up in the inner city is even now to this day when I get angry. If I get angry, it comes right back. It's hilarious as hell. It comes right back, and then that's when you start seeing that if I get mad. The only thing is up in Ohio here where I live, I don't have a cause to get mad very often. Yeah. But yeah, those things have changed. But yeah, that's going to be big. Is seeing Phillips next year. It's gonna be something. It's going to be something what we have coming back at defensive end. Not to mention Jafari Harvey.
Joey, yeah.
Jafari Harvey and
Joey
Chance
just
Williams.
said it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's those are Cam Williams. Cam Williams could be a stud.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to be deep.
Yeah,
very,
we're
very
going to be
deep.
plenty deep. I do want to get the to these plays. This is what I want to talk about, guys. Because all 6 touchdowns showed a microcosm of things that I really, really loved about Jaren. I'm so glad that people got to see it. Let me start off. Okay, the first touchdown pass, the 67-yarder to D. Wiggins. If you look, number one, on that play, Jaren trusts the pocket. He trusts DJ to come across his face and pick up the blitzer, which DJ did a great job of. Then Ja'Kai gets beat on the inside, and Jaren's having a guy come right at his face. Jaren steps into the hit, and he knew he was going to get hit, smashed in the mouth. He steps into the throw, taking the hit, and throws a beautiful ball to D. Wiggins. D turns the guy around. That guy still doesn't know what happened. Turns the guy around, 67-yarder. The fact that Jaren steps into the hit, that's something, again, elite quarterbacks will do. That you see a Jaren stepping into a guy who's going to hit him right in his mouth to deliver the ball. And he delivered a beautiful, beautiful deep ball once again to D. Wiggins, and it ended up being that 67-yarder, and it was awesome. 247. Did I mispronounce it? Chance Williams?
What happened? I think you said Cam Williams.
Well, Cam Williams too.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah, we got a Chance and a Cam.
Right.
They're both going to be studs, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So that one. Secondly, the screen pass, the second touchdown, the screen pass to DJ Dallas. I love the patience that Jaren showed, and then when he shows the patience to set up the screen, and then when he goes to throw it, he sees that DJ hadn't cleared the wash, hadn't cleared the traffic. So he brings the ball back down, he pumps it, brings it back down, and gives DJ a chance to clear the traffic, and then throws it to DJ, and then DJ does the rest. Again, it showed patience. It showed next level composure in that a lot of QBs make the throw right away. And then it ends up getting deflected or not, or getting caught for no gain, or God forbid, it gets intercepted. So the fact that the way that Jaren set it up and brought it back down, I thought was tremendous. The third touchdown pass, the 10-yarder from Wiggins on an RPO. Again, tremendous pocket presence. If you look at it, it was an RPO, but he was getting drilled from the opposite side of the RPO. And as he's getting ready to get hit, if you watch that replay, after he does the RPO, he carries through with the fake. He pulls it back, and he sees that the guy is coming from his face. And he actually sort of drifts to his left as he's throwing the ball. And he threw a little bit behind D. Wiggins, but D. Wiggins made a really nice adjustment and came down with the catch. But again, buying himself an extra split second by drifting to his left as he's throwing the football is why we were able to get that ball off, because he was getting blitzed by a blitzer that was not picked up at all.
Right.
And a really another brilliant play. The Will Mallory pass, the 17-yarder Will Mallory. Nobody was open. You had a red zone situation. What does Jaron do? He starts rolling out to his right to buy himself extra time. Well, by buying himself extra time, he forces the defender to make a decision, because Mallory turns upfield. That defender now either has to go back with Mallory or come up, because if not, Jaron could have run for it. And he freezes the defender, and then on the run, sides arm a beautiful ball with tremendous trajectory right over the guy, right perfectly placed to Will Mallory for the touchdown. Again, shows his mobility and what he can do on the run. Then came the Mike Harley, the long one. This was my favorite throw. God, I love this throw.
Yeah.
Guys, this is why I was saying about the elite QBs. On that pass to Mike Harley, there was no window. There wasn't a window. If you saw, there was actually three guys, a guy underneath, a guy covering Harley, and a safety over the top. But what Jaron saw was that he could make an anticipation throw and throw him open. You hear people say that phrase. Guys, only the very best quarterbacks, even at the NFL level, only the very best make those types of anticipation throws where they create their own window. If you look at that Harley pass, that he sees that Harley was covered, but then he saw that he could create a window by throwing it to a place that only Harley could get it, and that it could actually throw Harley open. He dropped it, like somebody was saying, dropped it right into the barrel, and Harley caught it for the touchdown. That throw is a next level throw that only the very best quarterbacks make. And Jaron, that was a beautiful throw. God, I love that one. Which one am I missing here? Oh, the other one to Harley. The other one to Harley was, again, the same thing we talked about, very similar to the KJ Osborne touchdown against Pitt that gave us the win. Is on those plays, guys, if you get perfect ball placement on those type of slants, you get perfect ball placement where guys can catch it in stride, you'll get those touchdowns where they break a tackle, because what happens is you got the trailer. If you get it with perfect, if you don't get it with perfect ball placement, you might complete it and say, oh, it was a good throw. Not the case, because if you get it with perfect ball placement, that receiver can now catch it in stride. The back guy is not going to catch up to him, and the safety doesn't have time to come over. So then what happens is you could turn it upfield, and then that's why the safety has to trying to make a diving tackle, and you could break it for a touchdown. That's why you saw that touchdown with KJ and with Harley, very similar. The one with KJ against Pitt, and then the one with Harley yesterday. And again, those are the type of throws, guys, that I see that are just
next level,
just next level elite. And guys, and Taz brings up a point. He was making those throws in the rain with a wet ball. You know, that Harley throw, guys. I know you guys think that. I mean, maybe
with a sore shoulder as well.
Yeah,
so his shoulder was bothering him. I don't know, but maybe they shot him up at halftime or what. But
you guys have to do me a favor. If you get a chance, rewatch that pass. And watch when Jaron releases that first touchdown to Harley. Watch when he releases the ball, where the position of the players were. Where you have the three Louisville players, and then you have Harley. That window was a window that he made for that throw by putting it where he put it. And that was a elite level NFL elite, not just NFL, an elite NFL quarterback makes those type of throws where they create their own window, and they see a window that isn't there that they're going to create. Those types of anticipation throws are ridiculous. Those are only done by the very best quarterbacks. and that's the awesome thing that I saw. And it's just, I could not be more excited. You guys know I'm not a big believer in QBR. But the QBR that they for Jaron yesterday was 99.0. That's on a scale of 1 to 100, which gives you an idea how lights out he played. But I was just really proud of him, and seeing those type of throws, I think it gives you guys an idea of why I was always so high on him. So Big Dog was not capping. Did I use it properly, guys? Let me know, because I'm starting to feel like an old fogey.
I'll tell you what, man. You're doing better than me, and I'm younger. So,
but anyways, no, that guys, those are the things I wanted you guys to see. That D. John says that his brother's a Michigan fan, and he's been trying to trade Shea Patterson for Jaron Williams all season. No, D. John, yeah, you tell him. He goes, no dice on that. I wouldn't trade. Tell him I wouldn't trade Jaron for Shea Patterson, Floyd Patterson, and the entire Patterson family. No, I'll keep Jaron. We'll keep Jaron.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely, P. Hill. That's exactly when people say throwing a guy open, that's exactly what they mean. And you know, P. Hill, that's only done by the very, very best quarterbacks. And it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And though when I have kids, man, and by the time they're talking and whatnot, the slang is going to be so out of control, man. I'm just going to stop keeping up, to be honest with you.
Well, it changes. That's the thing that people don't realize. That people don't realize.
Whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. I wonder if you guys thought, like, when I was growing up, Big Dog, I can't think of like any crazy slang or terms that I used to use when I was younger that you were just like, what the heck is that?
Yeah. There was things that I used to say that you remember that you remember that were slang, like back in my day, which are not slang. I mean, they're not even talked about anymore. Like, for example, like we used to have a saying.
Stacy, I think I'm sorry to interrupt you, Big Dog. Junior, he says, can Justin play striker or just linebacker? He's all linebacker, man.
He's all Mike. In fact, Stacy, he's 100% a middle linebacker.
What's up, Eddie? I think
it's not. He has the ability to play anything in terms of a linebacker. But he is 100% your prototypical rock and awesome playmaker as a middle linebacker, Stacy. Yeah, he's 100% Mike all day.
Hey, how do you guys feel, man? A question to the chat. How do you guys feel about our chances to go ahead and land Justin Flo? You guys feeling optimistic, pessimistic? You know, what chances you guys are giving for Flo? If you could come up with a percentage on whether you think Justin Flo will come to Miami, what would it be, man? Just a little quick question for the chat. See what you guys think.
Alex says he doesn't think we'll get Flo. I mean, it's listen, we're still. I feel good, but I would not bet a significant amount of money, Alex, that we get him.
50-50. Rico's 50-50. Stunner Boy Kane's 50-50.
Eddie
I'll take those.
50-50. No, you know what, though? I'm pretty
70, 70, 80?
I'll tell you what. I'm pretty close to that 50-50 mark myself.
I'm with a Gallo Negro. That's where I'm at.
Curveball says 70. Tabardine says 70. Uncle Joe says 80. Chug Mobier says 60. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm right there with you. CJ Miami
is like CJ's all the way.
Listen, man. I don't know if you guys saw that photo. Junior, you got it on your phone?
Which one?
The photo that you texted me yesterday of the locker room. You guys got to see Justin Flo's face when he's taking this picture. He has a smile on ear to ear. And he was like taping it on his phone, the celebration and the guys dancing, and you could see how much he was enjoying himself.
It looks all right. Don't take the picture the wrong way, though, guys. The picture looks a little weird, but not.
No.
But you can see Flo.
Look at Flo. Look at Flo's face. Make it larger so people can see his face.
There you go, man.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's happy.
You see what I'm saying? That doesn't look like a visitor.
Picture's a little weird, but he's happy.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a visitor. That looks like a dude that feels like he's with his brothers already.
Yeah.
Can you read too much into it? He still has a visit to Clemson. I get it. But at the same time, I'm just he did. Curveball says he loves Miami's coaching staff, and he says he
No,
loves
he
the idea.
does. Hey, I'm not saying we don't have a shot. I'm just saying.
Curveball, that's exactly what I was trying to say, dude. On one of our prior shows was exactly that. That a guy like Justin Flo,
Yeah,
he
King
said
Mitty, that was Harley.
that he wants to. Yeah, that was Harley making me being goofy. I love Harley, man. Harvey's personality is off the chain. He is just one of those guys that you just can't help but like.
Hey, hold on, man.
On his face.
Hey, this is really cool, man. We got Boyo in Hamburg. He
from
says
Germany.
From Germany.
Boyo, it's all about you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man.
So
all the way from Germany. That's awesome.
My good friend Rick Hernandez, who's in the chat, he was stationed in Germany for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, yeah, exactly, Richard Hill. That's exactly what I mean. It looked to me like Justin Flo felt like he was with teammates already. And listen, you can't put a price tag. And here's the thing. It takes a special type of dude, which I think Justin Flo is. If you look at the way he plays, his motor is ridiculous. Guys, if you guys haven't had a chance to see tape on Justin Flo, go into our library, and we have when we did the breakdown of the recruits that we were chasing, we have a breakdown of Justin Flo. Besides the fact that he's athletic as amazingly, he's tremendously strong, tremendous instincts. He plays with a motor that is ridiculous.
He plays with a chip on his shoulder without having to have a chip on his shoulder. That's what's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. He plays like the type of dude that you would think is the one that's not getting attention from everybody who's trying to get noticed, but yet he's the number one linebacker in the country. He plays, his motor is all out every play. When he comes downhill, he's going to bring pain. He can cover. Yeah, he can do everything that you need to do to be a superstar middle linebacker. And the thing that I see with Justin Flo is he's a leader, not a follower. So I think the idea of coming to Miami and being part of what makes Miami elite again is in a way more appealing to him than just being another great player at Clemson. Yeah. Or being another great player at Alabama. Oh, Alabama did the final. His top four was Georgia, Clemson, Oregon, and us. But he's the type of guy who wants to make his own way and not just follow. And I tell you what, I love it. I love it. And I think we have a much better chance than a lot of people give us credit for.
Yeah. Gallo Negro was asking about Jalen Knighton and our chances of landing Jalen Knighton, man. I'll tell you what, I was texting with a big dog during the week. I feel pretty good about Jalen Knighton. I feel better now than I felt before he committed to Florida State. If that makes sense to you guys. I felt like before he committed to Florida State, I felt like that's where he was going, and I was pretty sure about that, especially with so much hype about Don. That was right around the time that Don Chaney, I think, got his 5th star. So
put Endo Keynes' comment up there. Go ahead.
But I think it's cool, man. I think Jalen Knighton, he decommitted. He still said that he's I don't see Endo Keynes here. I haven't seen it yet on my
his aunt and uncle live in Miami.
And his brother wants to live in Miami, so does his family. Hey, but before we get to that, to Jalen Knighton, man, Restrepo, Xavier Restrepo, who's coming in next year, is doing a big recruiting effort. There was actually an article on Restrepo, and then he said that one of his main focuses is winning. Obviously, is in high school right now, but trying to get Jalen Knighton on board, man. So I think we do have a very good shot at Jalen Knighton. I feel much better about him now than I did before he made his commitment to FSU in the beginning. So if that makes any sense, would you agree with that, big dog?
I do. I feel pretty good about Jalen Knighton, and I think Jalen Knighton would bring a set of skills that we don't have in our running back room, and I think that's what he's starting to see. because if you look at the running backs that we have, even if
I hope
Lingard,
so, CJ, man.
if Lingard comes back, okay, and I want to address. I have a comment. Martin made a comment about Sam Brooks. Martin, I agree with you. I like Sam Brooks a lot, but I think Justin Flo is on another level because remember, this is a guy who's been playing middle linebacker his whole time. Sam was a converted, was a defensive end in high school.
Yeah.
But if you get Justin Flo, Sam slides over to the strong side linebacker perfectly well, and then you got Avery Huff, AJ, Alvin Mathis. I guess he goes by AJ Mathis, and stuff as outside linebackers. So that's not necessarily a deal breaker. You could definitely see Brooks as a strong side linebacker, Huff as a weak side linebacker, and Flo in the middle. And then guys like Tariq Austin Cave and Corey Flagg and AJ Mathis provide depth at middle and outside linebackers. So Huff is a monster, Mr. Rubicon. Absolutely. People forget about how good. I know he's an academic red shirt, so he wasn't able to play. But Avery Huff is a beast. Avery Huff is a beast and is a big time playmaker. And McLeod's going to be back also.
And one more thing, man. I know you're not sold on this, Big Dog, but I think it is worth mentioning about Hippolyte.
Yeah, Ruben Hippolyte. Yeah,
guys. Ruben Hippolyte is.
Oh, if you guys don't know, he's a Maryland commit. He's still a Maryland commit, but he's visited Miami a bunch. And Hippolyte has some serious. Right, he's not very big. He's only like 5'11". I think he goes like 210.
He's 6 foot, like 220, big dog.
Is he up to 220?
He's up to 220.
And he runs what, a 4.5 and change?
4.54 40.
4.5 440.
And like a 32-inch vertical leap. I mean, his measurables are really nice, man. And yes, he is committed to Maryland, but we offered him, I think, back in April. He unofficially visited Miami 4 times. He also attended the Canes camp, and he was there yesterday at the game.
Mr. Rubicon says that he heard that Miami doesn't want him. I don't know about you might be right, Mr. I think part of it is he wasn't really feeling Miami, Mr. Rubicon. What I felt like about 6-7 months ago.
He's an outside linebacker, Lakers.
Yeah, he's an outside linebacker. Like I said, really good speed, good athleticism.
Top 300, 4-star. I mean, check out his measurables on 247, man. He's an athlete.
Marcus was saying about Huff playing striker. Marcus, he might have the ability to play striker, but I want to see Huff at weak side linebacker. I want to see him at that will. I just think the thing is, Mr. Rubicon, what I always felt was that Hippolyte wasn't really feeling Miami early in the process, because every time that I read comments that he made, it was not throwing shade at Miami, but putting Miami in the mix with Maryland, with other schools. So I'm not, I think that was part of it. I don't think there was any interest mutually on either side. And I think since Maryland's season went south, I think he started looking around, and Maryland's season went south at the same time our season started to go north. So I think that's what happened with Hippolyte. But obviously, Corey Flagg, D. Burnett talks about Corey Flagg. He is a beast. Yeah. That young man's a big time overachiever, and a great program guy for sure. That's what, and don't forget, guys, we also have Darren Branch, the defensive back from Louisiana, who is also viewed as being a striker.
Yeah, so, I saw that comment, curveball. Martin was asking about Dumerville. He says that we need some superstar talent at Green Tree.
Yeah. I mean, I like Dumerville's tape. I do.
You think we got a shot though?
Man, it just early on he was all Oklahoma. That's all anybody could talk about. It was Oklahoma. Hey, he's visited a bunch. I think Cam Underwood says a lot of times follow the visits. There's a lot of truth to that,
For who?
For Dumerville.
Oh yeah,
he's visited a bunch.
But that's what I'm trying to say about Hippolyte as well. You don't care about the U, but you're visited already 4, 5, 6 times.
Come on, sometimes guys visit because their buddies go also, and because they, that type of thing, just to hang out.
Yeah.
And it's the hometown program. If it was an out-of-state visitor, like Flo visiting now for the second time, first time unofficially, this time officially.
Yeah.
That
Hippolyte goes to MacArthur, I believe.
correct. He
So,
he goes to MacArthur, so he's in Hollywood.
yeah.
So that's not, he's a hometown kid. So him visiting isn't that big of a deal. I mean, if you ask me, I'll put it this way. I think there's more of a chance that Justin Flagg's the Hurricane. Justin Flo is a Hurricane. We're talking about Corey Flagg in the chat. Just as I think there's a better chance that Justin Flo is a Hurricane than there is of Hippolyte or Duberville. How's that?
I don't like that, man. I want to hear something better than that. So I don't think we get Hippolyte either, but I think it's interesting with Hippolyte. Dumerville, I don't see Dumerville, but Hippolyte, oof. I guess whatever, man.
It's you know what?
Yeah, 502. You didn't destroy us in basketball, but you did beat us in basketball. Congratulations. So take that dub with you. But you got destroyed yesterday. All right.
He's still here. Now I would think on a Sunday morning you have something better to do, unless you live in Louisville, which then you don't. But was that a shot?
That was shade, big dog. That was a lot of shade.
Was that a shot?
Yeah. What's going on 904 Hurricane? Blacklist is bogan.
You want to do what we've been on for an hour and a half? You guys want to do some rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do some
before
rapid
we get
fire,
out of here.
Because I gotta go over some of my fantasy lineups before these games get going on their way.
Gallo Negro says, off topic, but how do you feel about FSU head coach hire affecting our recruiting in the future? It's important, Gallo. It's important.
It's important. No, it's very important. But if they get Pepe coaching at FSU, then hey, it's better for Miami because
I mean the one guy
you're hearing about Bob Stoops and you're hearing about Urban Meyer. I say FSU should go ahead and listen to LeBron James and Lil Wayne, and they should hire Deion Sanders, man. I think FSU should hire Deion Sanders if they want to really turn that program around. I think Deion Sanders is the guy.
And somebody said that it. Let me see if I got this right. That he thinks Brian Kalish thinks 502 is Bobby Petrino trolling. Brian, remember it's Sunday morning, so chances are Bobby Petrino is probably doing the walk of shame, coming out of some hooker's bedroom about this time on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Let's see. Florida State. Yeah, guys. So that's the thing. I mean, the one guy that worries me about FSU is Mark Stoops. The other guys that I see on their list, I'm not worried about.
Yeah,
Mark Stoops would be a good hire.
Mark Stoops, I think, will be a good hire as well for FSU.
Yeah, Mark Stoops would be a good hire for him. He's done a great job in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And
what was I going to say? Devin, I put it on here.
Bowl prediction 247 Kane. That's so hard to know because there's still so much football left to be played that really depends what other teams do where we end up going with the bowl. So,
hey, Mr. Wright, man, that's the guy. That's the guy. Prime time to FSU.
Brian Kaylee says, how high of a pick do I think Burrows would be? Brian, I think, and even on my board, Burrows just jumped up to the number one pick with his performance yesterday at Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, you remember last week when I was asked that I said I'd probably take Herbert ahead of Burrows. You can flip that now. I'll go with Burrows ahead of.
I think it snapped a 30-game home win streak for Bama.
Yep.
And it wasn't even a game.
Oh man, 30-game home win streak.
Yep.
Shoot, that has to be some kind of a record. Oh wait, no, it's halfway to the record, basically a little bit more than halfway, because the record is held by the U. 58 consecutive home games winning streak. We went a decade without losing a home game. Just want to point that out for 502 and whoever else is listening. We went an entire decade without losing a home game.
Hey, 247, that would be my dream.
By the way,
did
you guys see this?
That's not going to happen.
Somebody had mentioned, like, when we were independent and our schedule, LSU yesterday became the first team to beat 4 top 10 teams in 1 year since the 1987 Miami Hurricanes. That was our second national championship year. So that gives you an idea, guys. We always scheduled whoever the toughest teams that we could possibly schedule. And that was, and people talk about their 30-game home winning streak with Bama. We had a 58-game home winning streak. Just want to point that out.
Yeah. Hey, Gaio Negro says, thanks for joining the Big Dog Letter Show. DJ and Thomas leaving after this year.
DJ and Jeff, I think they're both leaving after this year. Yeah, Uncle Joe says, I miss the Orange Bowl. I do too, Uncle Joe. Man, there was nothing like that he 502 says he doesn't care about a stupid 58-game winning streak.
He's still salty, man.
Okay.
Still,
hey, I'm glad you don't care. Is there any chance Phillips is used at the end? Yeah, 904. I think Phillips is a DN. I know he was listed as an outside linebacker.
Oh, Jalen is 100%.
Yeah. Now, mind you, well, is there a possibility 904 that they'll use him in that Viper role on occasion because he's so athletic? Yeah, they might. But at the same time, it's the same thing like we were is I want those guys pointed at the quarterback. So I don't want to even use the Viper. But yeah, he's a straight defensive end.
Hey, this guy is such.
What happened?
Man, where you at, John Paul? Did you see Uncle Luke on Twitter, Big Dog? Because you're not on Twitter anymore.
No.
Oh my gosh, man. Dude, I've been done with Uncle Luke, but I'm so done with Uncle Luke, man. Basically just sweating Dion, man. Like, you got to be the guy, man, this and that. Like, you will bring this, you'll win a national championship within 2 years. Like, dude, sounding like the biggest fanboy of FSU and Dion. I'm so done with that nerd.
Hasn't he done the same thing with Florida too?
Dude, I'm so done with that guy, man. He's ridiculous. Yeah, he really is ridiculous.
Uncle Luke's 15 minutes were up long ago. So
my goodness, man.
Yeah, Uncle Joe, man. You remember those night games? Oh my God, dude. It felt like that entire stadium was moving, was rocking.
Yeah.
Devin Ray says, who do we think Manny plucks from the transfer portal? That's a good question, Devin. Man, there's guys that are out there. I think people have talked about the UCLA wide receiver that he might be coming to us. Oh wait, hold on. Jaron just threw another touchdown pass. That was for 502. Oh wait, another one. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyways.
Hey, 247. In order for Miami to play Florida in the Orange Bowl, we would need to win the Coastal and more than likely beat Clemson in the ACC championship.
Florida lose some more.
Or Florida lose more games.
Yeah, I'd like to absolutely play him again for sure.
Oh my goodness, you imagine? Payback, man. That payback will be amazing.
Yeah.
Marcus Fleming is underrated family. Talk about him and Mike Harley's role, says John Paul.
Yeah, Marcus is a stud, man. People forgetting about Marcus. You know, you're looking at a guy, John Paul, that I know you know it because of you asked the question. Fleming is ridiculously. He has both. He has long speed because he's probably a 4. In fact, he's already been timed in the high 4.4s, but he's probably going to end up being a high 4.3 guy when all is said and done. And then he has tremendous short area quickness too. So I like both of the guys that we're getting really for slot in Marcus Fleming and in Javier Restrepo. So I think both of those guys are going to have a tremendous impact. And those are both guys that are, I mean, seriously good slot guys.
Yeah. Rising Canes recruiting. Justin Hodges decommitted, man.
Yeah.
He decommitted, so I don't think.
And a lot of people think he was processed out.
Yeah. And
I do think he was processed out. I think Manny had a talk with him. I'm not, listen, though I know that everybody talked about the 4.89 that he got timed in the 40 at 4.89. And I know watching Justin's tape, he makes a lot of plays and he's faster than that. But at the end of the day, I don't think he has the speed. Much like we were talking about Gabe Taylor the other day, Sean Taylor's brother. He doesn't have Miami speed to play cornerback.
He was on the sideline yesterday, big dog.
Who's that?
With his dad.
Gabe Taylor?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, but he's always welcome. He's
Oh,
you
yeah.
Rolte.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, him and his dad and his family that's you Rolte forever.
Yeah.
The Taylor family
Mr.
is.
Rubicon says,
I'll tell you what, his body's nowhere near like Sean, but have you seen his face?
Oh, yeah. He
is the spitting image of his brother in his face. If you look at Gabe Taylor's face, he looks so much like Sean Taylor in his face. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a shame he doesn't have the physical ability, but
Devin Ray, man, I think we have a good shot at Harrell, and I think we have a good shot at Jalen Knighton, to be honest with you. I feel better about Harrell than I do about Knighton, but I think that's the most likely flip for the Canes.
And I know, Devin, that we got Alex Akavage, the offensive lineman, visiting too. Not a huge fan of his film, but if that's basically where we're at offensive line, and he's going to be a guy that we could probably redshirt.
What's up, Sammy? I just saw Sammy's in here.
Chug Mobier with the donation. Thank you, Chug Mobier, so much. Go ahead
thank you.
And read his post, Junior.
He said, "Great show, guys. Need to continue building momentum and consistency through the rest of this year, so the Canes can carry it into next year. Go Canes!" That's how I feel, Chuck Mobier, man. And to be honest, man, that's why I'm not even like I don't care about. I'm not paying attention to winning the Coastal. I'm not paying attention to what bowl game. Like I don't really care what bowl game we do play. I just care about winning, whichever bowl game we do go to, man. Now we got FIU in a couple weeks. And then we close out with Duke, go to a bowl, win that bowl game, man. That's gonna do big in recruiting. That's gonna do big for the locker room, for the guys that if anybody else is left not buying in 100% to this program, I think they'll buy in. I think by that time, assuming we win out and we win a bowl game, by that time, I think there will be no doubt that we turn the corner. After that Georgia Tech loss. I think there will be, no doubt about that. So I think that'll be huge going into next year, man. Recruiting wise, confidence wise, especially for Jaron, the offensive line. I mean, the defensive line, the guys that we have, that are going to be playing and coming in. I just think it's going to do so much for this program, man. And listen, guys, I said it. That is the reason why I was never on board with the fire Manny or fire Enos, or I voiced my displeasures with Manny, and I voiced my displeasures with Enos, and I voiced my criticisms, but at no point in time was I ever fire this coach or fire that coach, because it does take time, man. And I understand Canes fans don't want to hear that, but look at us now. Where are the fire Manny hashtags or fire Enos hashtags? Like, they're not here,
Listen, yesterday we saw what the multiple spread coach can be with a good performing offensive line. But that still doesn't change the fact that Enos should have adjusted for our offensive line deficiencies better. Yeah. So that was a legit criticism regardless. Yeah. And some of his play calling in the red zone, which has improved now, was also questionable. So those things, the fire part is what was an overreaction. The criticism part was warranted in many cases. So
yeah, but I was very disappointed at at all that noise, man. Like, people were done. People were done with Enos and done with Manny, man. And I was, I was doing my best to.
But you got to remember that fan is short for fanatic. So people tend to overreact.
Yeah, but we saw a lot of it, big dog. We were hearing and seeing a lot of it, man.
But the criticism was warranted because they brought it on themselves.
No, but the criticism's not only warranted, but it should be warranted. Correct. You have to hold your coaching staff to a high standard. I have no problem with that, man. Me and the big dog were on here, especially after the Georgia Tech loss, man.
Oh my God.
Like, we were on here.
How angry I was at
tearing up Manny Diaz. And we were tearing up Dan Enos with his red zone play calling early on in the year, man. The criticisms are warranted, man. You guys got to earn the respect from the fan base. But where I have a problem is when you start hearing about banners, you start hearing about this, and I'm just like, guys, let's see if he could turn it around, man. Let's see if he could turn it around. Now, if Manny has, a Willie Taggart start to his tenure at Miami, going 5-7 your first year, and then you get blown out by FSU in your second year, and then you look like you might miss another bowl game again in your second year, then I'm like, okay, man, this is not going as planned, So
well,
that
the way that they were losing and bickering on the field and guys underperforming,
right. But you know what, man, it's promising to see, man, and it's a good sign moving forward. I think we're seeing not only the players, the development.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hey, 502, I'm just letting you know, man. It's okay if you want to have a discussion back and forth. If you start being disrespectful, dude, I'll just block you, and you can go back to the back room of your trailer and light up the rock. So, but was that wrong? Okay. But what I don't want to see is disrespect. So if you start with the disrespect, man, I'll just block you. That's all.
Yeah.
All right.
For sure, man.
We got a bunch of Gators fans that watch us all the time. We got a bunch of people that are on this site that are not Canes fans. So I don't mind you being on there. And if you want to, friendly banter back and forth, but if you start with the disrespect, man, I'm just going to block you and you can go on about your business. All right.
Yeah. Well, I lost myself, man, after that comment, bro. What was I saying, man?
I got it, Big Kane, but no, I don't like that shut up comment and stuff like that, Big Kane. No, dude, you're part of our U fam, and you guys come on here and we can have discussions and disagreements back and forth. I was just kidding around about the Captain comment and stuff like that. But but that's one thing. But when you start getting disrespectful, man, just go on about your business. Like I say, go back to your trailer.
Big dog about to throw some blows for you, Big Kane.
Man, I just don't like that, man. I just don't like that.
I got you. You guys don't want to see the old man heated, man. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, that's part of that social media crap that I don't like, man. I don't like. You should be on social media the same dude. Keep the same energy you are in real life. Don't be a keyboard warrior. And 99% of the time, the keyboard warriors, they ain't Shiite in real life.
Yeah, I know. Dante says 9-4 is a recovery from what was headed towards a disaster. Now it's a deization. Let's go, Cage. I like that.
I like that. Yeah, listen, like I said, he brought some of that on himself, and some of the things that he brought up. Mr. Rubik, I want to get back to put his comment. He asked about staff changes.
I got you.
The thing. How can I? Hold on. Let me get to that first. The staff changes. This ties into that question. That's why I was trying to think about it. The thing that Manny got away from was he talked the talk but didn't walk the walk when holding players accountable and holding the staff accountable. That's why I think it was a legit criticism. In terms of staff changes, Mr. Rubicon, I'd like to see a change with Jonathan Pecky. I think.
Why do you say that with Pecky?
Our teams have not been, as a whole, the kicking issues, the punting issues last year, the kicking issues this year, seeing Bubba Baxa not warming up before the big kick against North Carolina, our linebackers not progressing as much as we had hoped at times. I'm sort of on the fence with Blake Baker, frankly. If we can upgrade a defensive coordinator, Mr. Rubicon, I think the suit is too big for Blake Baker. I don't think he was ready to be at this level. And now the fact that Manny is the head coach, can he continue bringing Blake Baker along, taking a bigger hand and Chuck Mobile, that's a perfect example. Maybe that's what I should have said instead of getting rid of Packy, is we need a coach dedicated to special teams only. Tabardine, and you're right, but the special teams not performing, especially the kicking game, up to snuff is and when I say kicking game, I don't mean Lewis Edley. Lewis Edley has been one of the best punters in the country. Now, somebody was asking about Lewis leaving early. Lewis, this is actually his second year of eligibility because he redshirted his second year in college. He could leave disappointed 1 year. He actually could leave to the NFL, but I think Headley stays for another year. But I do think we need a full-time special teams coach. Absolutely. Baker, I'll say this. The fact that Manny could continue mentoring him as, being that he's there is a reason why maybe I keep him around and give him another year to see if he's learned more at this level. But those are the only really staff changes I'd like. And I'd also like to see another guy added to our recruiting department that's a big-time recruiter. Those are the only staff changes I see, Mr. Rubicon.
Yeah. Hey, big dog, it's 12:50, man.
All right, man. Yeah, you want to go ahead and get out of here?
Guys, it's been real, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you're watching us on Facebook, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, hit that notifications bell, like the video if you haven't already, man. It'll really help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Getting this video out to more people. And if you guys have Facebook, whatever, just look up Julian the Big Dog, man. And thank you once again, man. We have 180 in the chat, man, for you guys joining us early on a Sunday morning. It means a lot, man. So I think there's a lot of good things to take from the win yesterday moving forward. And yeah, man, we got a bye week now for some guys to rest up, and I think we're gonna come strong against FIU in Martin Stadium, and then to close out the season against Duke, and then go on to a bowl game, win that one. And the future's bright, man. The future's very, very bright for this Miami Hurricanes team, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You want to say anything else before we get out of here, Big Dog?
No, just a couple more really good comments. 904 was saying about Cam Harris, Lingard, and Chaney in the backfield. Man, 904, could you imagine that? Can you imagine if we had Knight into that? Jesus. Yeah. And Dante said about Baker's growing. I agree, Dante, but too many.
Boyo, thank you for joining us all the way from Germany.
Yeah,
man.
Boyo, thank you so much.
And
thank
Mr. Rafi from Afghanistan, man, as well.
Wow.
Our YouTube family spreads out, very, very.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. The thing, Dante, that I have a problem with Baker is too many really questionable calls, using Rousseau as the Viper in coverage, putting Rousseau in positions where we can't take advantage of his abilities as much as we should. Too much questionable game planning. The North Carolina game, not taking away the fade. There's too many things like that you can get away with at Louisiana Tech at this level that costs you ball games. Yeah. But do I think he's still growing? Yes, I think that's why I said I'm not all on board about not retaining him next year. But Manny has to continue mentoring him, and Manny has to continue having his hand in the pot when it comes to our defense.
Yeah.
So,
all right, man. So we out of here, man. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man. Go Canes. And yeah, we'll see you guys this week coming up. So you already know it is and always will be
all about this you. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great Sunday, man, and enjoy it. And on to next week. Yeah. And we will see everybody on Thursday. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.